Hydraulic cylinder are defined based on the number of rods coming out from the cylinder and the number of pressurized fluid coming to perform the operation. Now, in this bottle jack, as you can see, there is only one side. So this is the entire cylinder. Only one side you have the rod, and then the other side, basically the blank. There is nothing coming out in this side, and this side is called the blank end side. This side is called the rod end side. If the rod is coming out from both sides, that would be called a double rod cylinder. This bottle jack is only has rod in on side, so this is called single rod cylinder. The second defining factor for cylinder is the number of fluid port. So in this cylinder, basically, this is the pumping piston. Pump the fluid, and that increases the pressure of the fluid, and that goes into this reservoir, and that actually goes in right here. So the pressurized fluid only comes in the blanket side of the rod, and that pushes the cylinder out. And then as soon as the job is done, you can release this valve pressure, and this weight of this rod will bring the rod down. So pressurized fluid come on the blanket side, pushes the rod out. So this bottle jack is used to lift load. Typically they're rated about 20 tons. They can lift a ton of loads. So the pressurized fluid is coming in one side, pressurizing this thing up. Now, if the pressurized fluid only coming in one side, in this particular case, it's coming from the blanket side, just one side, then that would be called a single acting cylinder. One of the most commonly confused term by the students is the number of acting. So they think, I don't know exactly what makes them to think that way, but when it is asked how many acting of the cylinder is, because the rod is moving in both direction, and student think it's a double acting. This particular cylinder is a single acting. The acting defined by the number of fluid ports. If the fluid would come both from the rod end side and from the blanket side, that would be called a double acting cylinder. Most excavator, cranes, they use the way cylinders are used, that you will see that they have fluid port in both sides, both in the rod end side and the blanket side. Those cylinders would be called a double acting cylinder because they have fluid port in both sides. This particular cylinder only has pressurized fluid coming from the blanket of the blanket side, just one side. So this would be called a single acting cylinders. So the full name would be single acting single rod cylinder.